Gaijin Entertainment are testing out a severe damage mechanic that was promised in the first initial roadmap that was last year. They spoke about the new aircraft destruction mechanic and made an article asking for feedback, but they've been thinking about, putting through with this idea. Essentially, this is a small event in the events tab if you log into the main part of the game, and basically destroying parts and inflicting enough damage, or ripping off a tail or ripping off landing gear, gives you severe damage to an aircraft or to a helicopter. Now, destruction of engines, relative controls, ailerons, elevators and rudders are basically the key to getting a severe damage marker. But when you deal severe damage to an enemy aircraft, you receive a new severe damage award, and this is basically 80% of the reward for destruction, so 80% of what a kill would be. And at the same time, there is an example entry, which 3 kills plus 2 means that you've destroyed 3 vehicles and then got 2 more severely damaged. By the way, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 100,000 this year, so help me out and we'll continue on. Anyhow, if you then continue to destroy the aircraft, you then get the remainder of the 20%, and that equals 100%. So you'll get that full kill points. So it's a nice little mechanic that adds a decent amount of stuff. Now, you'll be shown a kill of severely damaged aircraft, and essentially, if someone else goes to attack that vehicle, they'll get 40% of that reward if an ally damages it. So you'll still get the 80%, but the friendly who goes after that particular vehicle will only get a 40% reward. And if you destroyed the enemy without severe damage, you get that 100% reward. Again, link in the description to this devlog goes through all the statistics. So it's a little confusing, but for the most part, think of it as advanced critical hits with bonus research and civil lines, which is a fantastic little change. And after successfully repairing an aircraft, those with the damage marker who cause severe damage will have the marker removed. So you'll be able to tell when an aircraft has gone back to an airfield, for example. At the end of a battle, any aircraft that has received severe damage will be, or any player has caused severe damage, will be credited with a destroyed aircraft, and the rest of the awards will be given. This is done so that players with an extremely severely damaged aircraft don't try and hide to avoid combat. This is primarily a good change to stop those bomber, AFK and fighter aircraft that climb to space and run across the edge of the map. So hopefully, if you do get damage on these particular aircraft or what have you, you actually get kills. Now, the very first match I took out with some mates, essentially we went into Air Arcade. Now, the BV-138 is a good little 3-engined float bomber. And at the moment, it is basically just destroying the living daylights out of these arcade players. I'm still waiting for a critical hit or a severe marker to pop up. It will here in a second as I take a brief hunting mission on this D371. He's going up into the vertical here. Maybe we'll get him right about now. If the gunner actually focuses on what he's supposed to be doing. No idea what's going on. We've got teamwork, so those rewards still wouldn't necessarily work, but for the most part, as we're pulling around here, we did get severe damage on that D371, so there you go. That's more severe damage to another aircraft that was flying behind me, and essentially I got the aircraft destroyed, so that's 100% of the kill, and which is a nice little, I guess, mechanic. Because let's be honest, it's not very nice when a teammate or a friendly particularly picks on an aircraft that you've damaged and then you don't get any points for it. Now, jets, it's no different except we've got missiles. Firing a missile at the Mirage, I will get a severe damage warning. There it is. And the friendly will come through with these F-16 and get a killer's severely damaged aircraft warning will pop up there. So that's quite cool. So he got 40% and I still got the 80%. At least that's how I think about it. And in regular jet matches, well, again, it's still RNG whether or not you actually kill the aircraft you fire a missile at, or whether you just hit them. But again, it's still flare, you still do all the good stuff that you regularly do. It's just an extra bonus for when you're in the furball to actually do stuff like this, where you get a severe damage and then the aircraft's tumbling out of the sky, you get the aircraft destroyed as well. So again, it's a nice little bonus towards the match, and I think for the most part this will help with the team deathmatch aspect of War Thunder, because ultimately without new game modes or without sort of more investment into, well, strategic weaponry and various other things. Map design is Gaijin's biggest weak suit, so adding a mechanic like this just delays the inevitable. It doesn't really add too much. They're playing it very safe with the development with this game, but for the most part, let me get back on point, essentially what it's doing is just basically giving you more rewards for getting critical hits. That's basically what the mechanic is. And while it's not new fancy game modes or, you know, things we've asked for like fuel sliders and various other bits and pieces, for the most part, it really sort of brings a new dynamic towards realistic. Now, it is still going to be the same furball, it's still going to be the same game that we regularly play, but I think for the most part this is an impressive change, and something that should be applauded is the communication and the ability for us to earn sort of regular match rewards in an economic test period. So highly recommend you go check it out, go to the events tab, go select realistic, go play that, because regardless whether it's 16 versus 16, it doesn't necessarily matter. Again, you get the 2 kills and then you get a +1. It's kind of interesting and it's a little different. And I get that it's a bit of an interesting change, but free points. And there can't, you know, who doesn't love free points? In other news, it's apparent that War Thunder, it might be changing its update release schedule this year. Apparently we've been a bit sneaky and you know, we've gotten used to them publishing such devlogs and updates. So apparently this is a post saying the new update will be different, unlike last year, and apparently the cycle is changing. So take that with a grain of salt, as we know that the first major update of this year will be in late March and will add a significant amount of new content. So hopefully this change gets introduced with that, and hope that the feedback and all the testing that they're doing currently will actually go towards that. Now, looking at the mission screen right here, you do have severe damage and critical hits, and that's quite cool. So we have this new mechanic. What do you think in the comments down below? Let me know, because I'd be very, very interested to see what your opinion is on this particular little change. For the most part, it is a positive thing, as well as the fact that they're considering you know, severe damage to helicopters as well, and destruction of all engines, for example, one engine or only one left, or a tail separation, you know, coaxial rotors, for example, maybe a tail propeller or various other things. So again, whether or not that appears in ground forces has yet to be tested, because this is an air-only event at the moment, but it's unsure whether or not this will expand into ground forces. Now, sure, it is a little bit of a fluff change, like fuel sliders and like some of the stuff on the roadmap that has been promised, but this is a step in the right direction. So you got to give Gaijin credit where credit is due, because not only have they communicated this in a dev blog, but they've given us a few days to test out this new mechanic and also earn rewards from it. So it's a good chance for you to go play, go have a bunch of fun, and also test out this new mechanic, which allows you to basically earn free internet points. Otherwise, that's basically it here, aside from the fact that, well, you know, there's a new grinding event that is going to be starting soon, and that'll be in a couple of days' time. So, you know, who doesn't love grinding out another close air support vehicle? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this particular new event. Please go play it. It is a hell of a lot of fun. It's interesting to see the new parts and different parts of the severe damage mechanics and how they relate to earnings, particularly post-battle. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not they change that, or, you know, figure out ways of doing it, because every minor change like this, there's always some form of exploit, and yeah, it's just a ball of fun. Anyway, I'd like to apologise for the lack of content recently. I haven't really been feeling too good. I've been a bit under the weather, working a little bit, and also just toying with my future. Look, life's annoying as is, and with the myriad of health problems that I've gone on about before, I just haven't had the energy or the drive to really make content, and I want to, and you know, part of me wants to get to 100,000, but you know, at this rate, it'll take another 3 years. So, you know, let me know in the comments down below if you have any other suggestions for me to do content-wise. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Go buy my decal, link in the description down below. Get 3% off anything in the War Thunder store. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more newsworthy topics as they come out over the next coming weeks, as well as some proper gameplay kind of videos. Alright, my name is Ish, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.